Hey, hi, how are you? It's Crystal again, and welcome to or welcome back to my channel. Not really doing a lot of baked goods this week. I may or may not later on in the week make a dessert. Might make one today, don't know. But may or may not make another dessert. May or may not make those dinner rolls I made in the last video that I made about baking. I'll link that below. Oh my goodness, it was great. But I don't know if I've ever shown you guys how to make a breakfast casserole. And it's one of the quickest, easiest ways I know to either make it ahead or make it while you're getting your day going. And it uses such little ingredients that it's not even funny. Like, you can make this no matter what your budget is. Don't mind my getup. It's 89 degrees, 90 degrees outside with a real feel of almost 100. So I have spent the day, since I've been awake, cleaning, vacuuming, using my vacuum powder that I made in a short for you guys. I don't know if I can link that, but it's the last short I just did on this channel. Laundry, I need to change my bedding over. I need to take the garbage out. But I'm going to throw this together and get some tacos started for supper. But I haven't had this in forever and I want it. So what you're going to do is you're going to set your oven to 350. You're going to spray down your baking dish. You can use a disposable bowl if you want. I never spray directly on top of my stove. It's better if you spray into a sink, but again, now you can use whatever meat you want. I do have some lunch meat in my refrigerator, but I'm using that for sandwiches because we went to Costco and you can't buy bread in just one loaf at Costco. So I got 2 of these, which is one of the reasons I'm not doing a lot of baking this week. So what I'm going to do instead, these are pre-cooked. They've been sitting in there for a long time. I am just going to, the brownies, there we go. Real life, guys, real life. I'm just going to microwave these for 30 seconds because all I need to do to those is cut them up. Now, one of the reasons this recipe is so versatile is you're literally using bits and pieces of whatever, and it makes an amazing casserole. I used to make this some nights for dinner when we didn't have a lot of money, or, I just felt like it. I got this. This recipe I got 16 years ago. Depending on the size of your baking dish, you're going to need to use anywhere between 2 and 7 pieces of bread. Favorite kind of bread, doesn't matter. They're playing with my curtains. That's why I keep looking, because they've been in a hyper mood. And what you're going to do is just tear it into pieces all over the bottom of your baking dish. Cool. I know a lot of people that was 16 years ago when I was at that level of income, who would use this for we don't have any money, that would use it for a Christmas morning casserole. They'd have it prepped the day before. Now what you see me doing here is I am honestly taking a couple of hash browns, literally I'm going to use 4 of them. Wasn't sure how many was going to fit. Usually what I end up doing, and I didn't discover this until 2020, so only 3.5 years ago or so, I discovered I liked, because I needed to use up some canned potatoes, and nobody I knew enjoyed them in other things, so, and using fresh ones don't work as well. So what did I do? Well, I cut them up, put them on top of the bread, and put them in the baking dish. I'm going to throw some white pepper on here. And I'm going to throw some salt on here. This is the only seasoning I am using in this entire dish. Now you can add whatever seasoning you want, obviously. Yes, this is how I cook all the time. Guys, stop with my curtains. My goodness. Alright. Now I'm going to use a knife. You can use any type of meat you want, any leftover meat. Honestly, I only have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I only have 6 pieces of sausage here. And this will feed at least 4 people with just what I'm doing now. You can make it as big or as small as you want. You can put as much meat in it as you want. As little meat in it as you want. No meat in it if you want. You can change the egg beaters out for egg substitute. You kind of want to make sure it's not like all in one spot, but if it is, just kind of move around. The animals have been on we're going to play with everything vendor. Use whatever cheese you want. Normally, I would, in this size baking dish, because this is just one of the small square ones, I would use, back then, I would have used 2 slices of American cheese, processed American cheese, and called that good. And you're going to put in some cheese. Now, you want 1 egg per person, or in this size dish, no less than 4 eggs. This last brownie is harder than a rock anyway. So I get that around it. Probably. So what I'm going to start with is I'm going to see if 4 will work, and if that doesn't work, these are the extra large. If that doesn't work, I'll just make up some more. Now, depending on how thick this is, depending on how your oven cooks, depending on how big of one you make, this is going to take, and our oven is ready, this is going to take anywhere between 35 minutes and an hour to cook. You need to make sure your eggs are done before you pull it out and eat it. I would also let it rest about 10-15 minutes. You can use lactose-free milk. If you have lactose problems, I do, but I didn't feel like using my lactose-free milk. You can use egg substitute. You could use just egg whites instead of egg yolk. You can literally customize this dish. And it looks like I'm going to use about 2 more. I might pick, but I have some eggs coming eventually from a local farm or mini farm. I'm not exactly sure. Martin knows the person. So I'm going to have a 24 pound fresh eggs here coming soon. If I need to get another gallon of it, or another dozen eggs beforehand, I obviously will. But you mostly want to make sure, because the egg will rise a little, that it is over your bread and your potato, or at least close enough to, because this is going to rise. Pop it in your oven. I'm gonna bake till those eggs are done. I'm gonna try half an hour on this one. Keep an eye on it. If it starts to brown too much on the top, then go ahead and cover it. I'll be back with you guys in a few minutes. My taco meat is done. And I think tonight I'm just gonna do really simple. I've got a bunch of the street taco size shells. This one and another one. And I think what I'm just gonna do at the moment is I don't even want to cut up the tomatoes for mine. I'm just gonna turn around and meat, cheese, and sour cream. There's a minute and a half-ish left on that casserole. I can tell by looking, because of experience, that it's not ready yet. I don't know if it's gonna like overheat. There, see, it's not just, I gotta clean the bottom of my oven, so, But, so I'm gonna go ahead and give that another 10-15 minutes. And I'm gonna eat dinner, and then I will be back to show you that. I still haven't decided if I want to make a dessert or not, but yeah. I did determine that while I'm doing this for my own food, let me move something real quick so I can set you up so you don't fall. There. Then while I'm making my own dinner and that's still baking, I was going to show you what I'm adding to Martin's lunches. If you've ever had a child in public school, or you spend any decent amount of time on TikTok and whatnot, you know about walking tacos. We had a leftover bag of Doritos that I crunched up, because for Martin's work, Martin doesn't really have the time to just and when you make taco salad, and you can make it with the Doritos, or tortilla chips, or any of that. It's really simple to just crunch it up in a bowl. Meat on top of the chips, juice, some sour cream, I will have to edit this part out because I'm playing in my refrigerator, baby. Fried pickled onions. There is a recipe for it. I'll show you guys how to do it. If I can find it, I'll link it, because it's one of my own things that I've learned how to do. These ones have been definitely in there quite a bit, because these are some older ones that need to be used up. And that's going to be one of Martin's lunches. I also have leftover bag of frozen enchiladas I made from a few weeks ago. That I kind of, every time I make enchiladas, I end up with extra. So this is going to go in the fridge. When those defrost, that's going to go in the fridge. That'll go in the fridge when it cools down. And we'll start with 3. That will make for a good 2 things out of it. There's leftover, I think they said I made stir fry, but there's leftover stir fry for 2 meals. I'll probably send some breakfast casserole. Maybe something else. I don't know yet. But what I meant when it came to the breakfast casserole, and the reason I'm kind of like still just chit-chatting with you guys while I make my dinner, is because at this point there's less than 7 minutes left on the bake time in the peak. Oh yeah, it's almost done. So I'll just keep chit-chatting. But what I meant when I said you could cook it ahead or make it ahead, I didn't necessarily mean cook it ahead. You can cook it ahead, but it's better if you're going to make it ahead for like Thanksgiving, Christmas, Easter, something where you're going to be cooking the next day, but people still need to eat something in the morning, and maybe you don't like to do cereal. Maybe you're not that sweet of a person. Maybe you don't want your kids having all that processed food. I don't know. Hi, come here. Come here. Come here. Hi, baby. Is to put it together, assemble it, and cover it up with some plastic wrap or tinfoil. Yes, he very much wants to constantly be with me. I'm going to put the fork in there. Anyway. Then the next day when you're preheating your oven, just go on ahead and take that out of the oven for yourself. Or out of the oven, out of the fridge for yourself while you're preheating it. And then bake it at maybe 5 minutes if the pan's still cold when you go to put it in the oven. You have made your holiday easier with everybody still being able to eat if you have a large family. Instead of making like a huge pan of it, or 2 pans or 3 pans of it, you can turn around, and I would serve that with, like, for the people who like the sweeter stuff instead of savory, I might turn around and make some, I don't know if fall's coming up, so let's say some apple cinnamon pumpkin bread, or possibly some, or not pumpkin bread, apple cinnamon monkey bread, or some pumpkin bread, or buy yourself some of these, the swirl bread from Pepperidge Farms. They've got many flavors. And turn it into French toast and make a French toast bake. And I'm not putting this on all of my tacos right now. And I'm trying to keep rambling while I turn around and do this. I'm just going to put it on one. And I'm going to keep my fork. I'll peek at that again. The center of the egg is not all the way done. I'm gonna go ahead. It says 3 minutes on here. I'm gonna stop the time. I'm gonna go eat some stuff. But what I'm gonna do in the meantime, I will have to buy more tin foil sometime in the next few weeks. But, because the very center at the moment isn't done. It's almost done. but it's almost done. So I'm just kind of covering it. I'm going to throw it back in here and I'm doing that so that it doesn't brown. If you put the shiny side up, it will not brown more inside because the shiny side is meant to help you brown things. I'm going to turn on for, let's say, 6 more minutes, and we'll see then. I got 2 out of my 3 tacos done and in my belly. Let me pull out this breakfast casserole for you so you can see it. I'll cut it after I'm done eating. I'm making it now because I wanted it, but I'm probably not going to eat it until later. I only have so much room in my stomach. And I'd have you guys sat back further, but that burner gets hot because it's where the oven like that. Oh yeah, here. This is what you want it to look like. This was the part that was not done, and it is now done. What I'm gonna do is cover that back up just while I finish my tacos. I'll come back and take a bite, show you guys, and then I'm gonna set my food aside for later because I will eat some more of it later. Look at that. Now, I can't remember if Hopi actually likes this or not. I know she used to eat it, but that doesn't mean she likes it. Really? And I haven't made it in an extremely long time at this point. But you can see you got the egg-soaked bread, the potato, cheese, meat. And the reason I don't over season this is whatever meat you add, whatever cheese you add is going to add flavor. So if you want to add more, obviously do. But if you're just somebody who's going to add salt and pepper to your eggs, salt and pepper it because of the potato and the egg, and then let other people salt and pepper it to their taste. You don't ever want to add too much sodium to something, and there is sodium in like almost everything in there. Because if you're feeding somebody who has a heart issue, say your great Uncle George comes into town and he needs a low sodium diet because he has a heart issue, but you don't know that. You've never, cooked for great Uncle George except for once a year. And he doesn't tell you this because salt tastes good. You don't want to keep adding to it. And I just use this spatula, color changing. To give myself an easy cut. It's really good. And the blue lids, these are what I put Martin's lunches in. Hopi gets a purple one, which is what I'm going to put most of the taco meat in because tacos are one of her safety foods. The edges sometimes need a little bit of persuading to cut. That's what I'm running into right there, is that one little edge, and I'm trying not to have to break out a knife. There we go. And that leaves over half this pan for us to snack on later. Martin might eat it when Martin gets home. Martin might eat it in the morning. Haven't decided what else I'm cooking today. I may or may not just make some French toast later with this roll bread. Anyway, I don't think I'm going to make dessert. I might. Probably not. I'm going to go ahead and stick this entire thing in the microwave for myself. So I'll eat it in just a little while. I'm going to leave this on my stove top because it's hot. I'm going to put away the turkey meat. It's not turkey, it's beef. The taco meat. Let this cool down. That makes 4 full meals for Martin. And I need to do some menu planning because I have vegetables and fruit that need done. But I'll probably snack on some of the cherry tomatoes later. And these mini cucumbers I got from Costco. There's the lemon juice Hopi was looking for last night. Other than that, I will see you guys on Wednesday. Have a wonderful night.